back to the title of this session, which is the Caucasian Chalk Circle, and I was wondering when I saw the title, it's a really interesting title, and I started wondering who actually drew this. You know, was it the people in the region, was it the great powers, and what role did the EU play in drawing maybe parts of it? And I think that actually it did play a role in drawing that circle, because oftentimes the European Union sees the region as a source of problems. And we're trying to draw the circle to contain the problems within the region. And that basically means that oftentimes the negative agenda prevails. You know, you're looking into ways of limiting possible security threats, you're looking into ways of bolstering energy security, making sure there are not too many labor migrants, and so on. But the fact is that for the EU to do these things and limit these risks, it's using the same kind of policy mix it has been using everywhere else, which is, you know, promote democracy, prosperity, and security. And the best way to do it is basically to kind of, and the assumption is that if these countries are democratic, if they're prosperous, they will also be a less of a risk for the European Union. And the question, of course, is how successful has the EU been in doing that for the past 10 years? We have seen some success, as you have just said. Georgia and Armenia are on the brink of finalizing the negotiations, an association agreement, and even comprehensive free trade agreement. I think the Georgians are actually expecting to complete the negotiations next Monday. So we will see what that brings. We trade more with the region than we ever did before. And there is a real chance that in a couple of years there won't be visa barriers for the majority of people living in this region when they try to enter the European Union. And that's a positive sign. But at the same time, it seems to me that oftentimes, if you have this grand vision of, you know, democracy, prosperity, and security, the EU has not really been devoting as many resources as needed to achieve that. And that's why I think that the EU's track record in the region has actually been quite mixed. And one of the reasons why that was that despite the fact that the EU has this amazing vision, it doesn't really have a concrete plan on how to achieve it. And what the EU offers in terms of the neighborhood policy and Eastern Partnership policy is basically kind of do it yourself. You know, here's the offer, but it's up to you, the government, the people in the region, to achieve this. Which, in a way, might be good if you have a very reformist government, if you have societies that are doing nothing else but thinking about how to come closer to the European Union. But as we have seen in the case of Azerbaijan, if you have a government that doesn't really care about these things, you achieve very little. And that's one of the problems. You can have this do-it-yourself approach if you don't care about something, but if you have a stake in it, it seems to me a bit odd to kind of leave it up to the region and not invest the resources that are needed. The other trouble with the EU's policy in the region was that oftentimes it offers things that look nice, but in practice they're not always needed, or they're not always the right things that the region needs right now. And I like to compare the EU's neighborhood policy to something that was not crafted by the EU as supposedly a strategic actor, but as crafted by someone who works for IKEA, which is the furniture store. And I know there are not that many IKEA furniture stores in the region, but basically the main logic behind that is that if you order something on the website, for example a table, it will be delivered to your door. You open the package and you find out oftentimes that instead of 4 legs for the table, you have 5. But the 2 nails you really need to put the table together are not there. And that's sometimes how the EU's policy worked in the region as well. In practice, the EU is offering deep and comprehensive free trade area agreement to Azerbaijan, despite the fact that Azerbaijan is not even a WTO member. So, you know, what kind of free trade can you have, and in what time span? The other more recent example is Georgia. When I talk to Georgian government officials about what kind of help they would need from the European Union, they will say, we need lots of advisors on infrastructure, regional development, how to improve education system, and so on. And what the EU does is it sends one advisor on human rights. And that is obviously very, very important, but it's not enough. It's hardly enough for the government to cope with all the problems that it is going to have. And the last point, when it comes to the kind of mismatch between what the EU sometimes offers and what the region wants, is the EU's by default focus on soft security issues. And that's partly logical because the neighborhood policy is based on the enlargement policy, where you did not really have hard security problems. And the assumption was the regions, the countries want to change and want to become like the European Union. Now, if you look at Caucasus, there are hard security issues which are going to haunt these countries in one way or another in the future. And at one point, sooner rather than later, they will become an obstacle when it comes to close integration with the European Union. And the EU has been so far trying to deal with these challenges by providing advisors, monitors, investing into confidence building, but it has hardly invested all the political, economic and security clout it might have in the region. The EU has tried it on Transnistria for a limited time and with limited results, but we have not seen that kind of initiative in the Caucasus. And the point is that by ignoring these problems, they're not going to go away. At one point in the future, they will come back when these countries would, and the European Union would consider close integration. The question obviously is whether, because of all these problems, you should shelve the policy and try to devise something else. And in a way, I guess probably not. If for nothing else, I don't have an idea of what else we can do. But ultimately, the offer that in the near future, next decade or so, this will be a region that will have visa-free and barriers-to-trade-free relations with the European Union is still an attractive one. But I think the EU can do something differently. One thing is maybe just care a bit more about what we're doing in the region and how it is perceived. And Charles touched upon the point already when it comes to EU's credibility. It's by default the EU is always engaged with governments. That's the modus operandi. But at the same time, sometimes let's just not do what's comfortable, and also let's do what is needed and what can be helpful. It's nice to talk to the president of Azerbaijan about energy security. It might be less nice to talk to him about human rights, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be done. Another thing is allocate resources better. EU is investing lots of money into the region. These are millions of euros of EU taxpayers' money. As one of them, I would ask, are they always allocated efficiently? Do we really need to fund capacity building for Azerbaijani judiciary sector when it's controlled by Aliyev? And can be some part of this 15 million euros allocated for NGOs or independent media in the country? The EU is already offering lots of scholarships for the region, and many people would argue that we should offer even more. But again, my question would be, can we also invest more in making these countries a more attractive place for study and education? Can we invest into programs here in Tbilisi, in Armenia, so these people don't have the need to go outside and pursue their degrees abroad because the quality of education here would be better? And the last point I want to make is perhaps adjust our expectations a bit. You asked about what are the results for the past 10 years, and more or less everyone said mixed in some way. And I think we have to be honest that given the current level of resources and attention on the EU side, and the preparedness of some governments in this region to go ahead with the kind of integration and reform, or not to go ahead with this kind of integration and reform, means that the changes will take longer, and the transformation will take probably much longer. What makes me feel more optimistic than some people in the room is that, and that was shown yesterday also during the discussions, that despite the fact that the governments often look as the ones who don't want to take these reforms, actually the people are becoming more kind of European, more active, and you have the kind of growing activism on the citizen side. And that's something that the EU can work with. Those are the partners for the European Union, and I think they should engage much better than they are until now.